I'm going to talk about the future, okay? And I have to make an agreement with you. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, I don't care. But I want you to think about the future. I want you to think about the future of the future, because somebody has said that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And you are going to create the future. So let's talk about the future. And since this is also a film festival, I'll give you some film hints here. Every time you see a film, you can yell the name of the film. So, Ex Machina, Ex Machina. This is the first one. I need you to be even more active. Each time you see a movie, just tell us the name of the movie and go and see it. These are good movies about the future. Some of them are disturbing. So let's start. This is me. Let's forget my history. I just want to tell you that I'm very proud of two things. One, I'm building a spaceship today. I'm helping some guys to build a spaceship. We want to go to the moon, and this is serious. But I'll tell you a bit more about that later on. But what I'm more proud of is that I used to be a DJ for a while. So I also invested in companies, sold companies, you know, but this is boring, not really serious. Let's use your imagination, okay? We're going to do some imagination test. I want to present to you what is called a telepresence robot. This is a future technology. We are going to send those robots to meetings, to conferences. They will be able to take notes. They will be able to open doors. They will participate in boring meetings. So this is a telepresence robot. But this is version number 1. You can buy it today. Can you imagine version 7.0? Use your imagination. Telepresence robot version 7.0. Okay, I used my imagination, and this is what I see. And you know what? I'm serious about it. This is the future. We'll see it in so many ways. But the good question is, right now, that you should ask is, who is the robot? I'll leave you with that. You know, we used to think about technology as a hammer. We don't really understand technology today. We still have this image of holding a hammer in our hand, and we use the hammer to do things. It's like we design the hammer, we control the hammer, we use our muscles to use the hammer, and this is technology. But this is not the case anymore. I want you to think about technology as a new, vibrant, intelligent, ever-growing partner to humanity. Technology is becoming part of what humanity is. Technology is changing what humanity is. It's not a tool anymore, it's a partner. And I want you to imagine that. Two major trends are driving that change right now, and it's done in a very fast way. One is artificial intelligence and big data. Our computer systems are becoming more and more intelligent, smarter. Some of us are still afraid to say that computers think. They believe they only calculate. But I would urge you to assume that computers, software, think. They think in a different way. Sometimes in a better way. Sometimes, I mean, they do things I cannot do. They win chess games. They do so many things. Computers think. AI thinks in a different way. I also want you to think about technology as something which is not so far away from us, because I'm going to show you we are integrating with the tech. We are integrating ourselves with what we have created. But technology and big data, computers and big data, this is only one part of the huge change which is happening right now. There is another part of it, another half, which is biology. You know, when I studied biology in school, first of all, I didn't really spend a lot of time at school, but anyway, they taught me about bees and ants and classification. Biology today is the new computer science. It's amazing, it's exciting. We learn to understand our bodies and our minds, if you wish, in a computer science way. We analyze our genomes, we analyze our brains, we analyze everything, and we learn to affect and program and change biology. As a matter of fact, what I'm seeing around me right now here, I see something like 250 biological computers and about 500 electronic computers. Think about this audience. It's all about computers. And the fact that we understand biology more and more and more, and we don't just read our genomes, we don't just read the data, we can also write it, we are going to program mankind. We are going to reprogram our humanity. We're going to integrate the electronic platform with the biological platform, and synthetic biology is the way in between. Get ready to amazing revolutions in what is to be human. So right now, I'd like to make a short stop, and you see the movie, The Matrix, of course. So the first one was Ex Machina, the second one is The Matrix. It's a must-see list of movies. After my talk, you should go and see all these movies. Who hasn't seen The Matrix? Who has seen The Matrix? Yeah, everybody. Everybody. Anyway, I'd like to make a short pause right now and ask you a question. Where do you think we are going? What is your idea of the future of the future? If technology is making us so much advanced, if we go further and further by biology and AI and computers and big data, where is the future? And there is a statement here by Craig Venter, which I find amazing. It's shivering. Craig Venter is saying that the digital and the biological worlds are becoming interchangeable. Interchangeable is a very strong word. You can actually run some electronic stuff on a biological platform, or you can run biology stuff on an electronic platform. You can combine. Part of your brain will be outside of your brain. We are building larger than our skull brains. We are building networks. We are combining everything together, and things are going to be interchangeable. That's a very strong word. The best way I can present it, if you ask me, is that we are the generation which creates Homo sapiens 2.0. Get ready to Homo sapiens 2.0. And Homo sapiens 2.0 is a combination of us, the old ones, and the generation and the technology that we have created will combine. And if you put it in a time scale, it's amazing. The real technology, last real technology scale, last real movement has started 250 years ago. But we have changed humanity in the last 250 years in a very significant way. And this is the way I see things. Billions of years to build from atoms to galaxies, then billions of years from galaxies to Earth, and then hundreds of millions of years to create life, and then hundreds of millions of years for brains, thousands of years for culture, 250 years for technology. So what is next? And next is going to be very fast. Next is going to be tomorrow morning. Get ready for that. But allow me to make now my whole talk much more concrete. I'm going to quickly share with you technologies that you can use today to generate the future. Things that are in the labs or actually at the field right now that you can use to bring the future even faster. So let's go quickly. And once I finish this list of technologies, I'm sure that you share with me this feeling that we are a generation that is going to change, completely change what humanity is. Let's start. Let's start with robots, okay? I have prepared a few robot stories for you. We don't have the time to go in depth into each one of these stories. Go ahead, search the internet, search Google, find the stories. The robot on the left upper side over there is Curiosity. Where is Curiosity right now? On Mars. Curiosity is now preparing our first settlements, preparing the knowledge and the ability to go and use and create our first settlements on Mars. Let me give you a prediction. In about 25 years, 30 years, you're going to see people on Mars. You're going to be seeing people living on Mars, which is great, I think. We're going to create a backup for humanity. We don't have a backup for humanity right now. It's important that we go to Mars. The robot on the right side up over there, X-47B, is a nightmare. This is the closest thing to an autonomous robot that can actually shoot without human intervention. This is actually a fighter which has no ability to put a carbon-based fighter in the cockpit. Not anymore. So it's the first airplane, fighter's airplane, that actually is controlled from the ground, and the next level is going to be autonomous one. This one represents my fears and the negative parts of technology we should all be sharing and fearing about. The robot on the left bottom side over here is a funny robot. After the Fukushima disaster with the nuclear power over there, people have started, I think it was DARPA, has started a competition to design robots that can go and close valves for us in such disasters. So this is a new generation of robots which is going to serve us, a very nice one. And the robots on the right bottom side, I cannot spend too many words on them right now. You can approach me after, but I'll make a very serious, I'll give you some information. I mean, the female robot over there has 3 engines. The male one has 1 engine, sorry girls. But I'll make a serious statement here. In a few dozens of years, we will be living in families and relationships with robots. It's the trend, it's going there, we should get used to it. It should not be so shocking to us. Those robots, by the way, can also talk, but they have a power switch. You can make them very silent if you wish. So we talked about robots. Let's quickly move. Her, yes, you did your homework. Her. If you haven't seen her, go and see her. Let's switch to artificial intelligence, okay? Artificial intelligence is not just robots. Artificial intelligence is the ability to be smart about stuff. Have you heard about Watson? Who heard about Watson? Not so many. You see, you should go and explore Watson. Watson is the future of artificial intelligence in so many ways. Watson has just won the World Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire competition. Watson is the new generation, the new paradigm of software. We used to write software in such way, in a paradigm that says, if then else, if then else, if then else. You write software, you program the machine. But Watson has a totally different paradigm. When you want Watson to solve a problem, usually what you do, you give it articles to read, and after it read 1 million articles on the subject, you ask it questions. And it's a totally different paradigm. Get used to the idea that Watson is going to be your future medical doctor, your future advisor, your future banker. We are going to entrust all these jobs, if you ask me, with this type of artificial intelligence software. Let's go and talk about 3D printing. Have you used a 3D printer? Have you printed something 3D? Raise your hand if you used a 3D printer. You see, the more we go with the presentation, I see less and less hands. So now you have more homework to do. Go ahead and print. Once you print something 3D, your concept of reality is changing completely. You see things differently because you are able to print reality. Imagine future shopping. Today, you go to the mall, you shop, you buy, you come back home. In the future, you stay at home, you download, and you print your shoes, your everything. So 3D printing is, by the way, the only way we can go to Mars, because nobody is going to send food from Earth to Mars. It's too expensive. We're going to print everything on Mars. 3D printing is the future of reality. And if you haven't tried it, go ahead and try it. By the way, 3D printers are not just for small things. You can build houses, you can build organs, human organs, you can actually print food. 3D printing is becoming the new way to make everything. Let's talk about transportation for a second, okay? So here's the flying car, the Terrafuga one. This is a flying car. You need both a driver license and a flight license to use this car, but you can buy it today. It's a bit complicated. So who is going to be the best driver of the flying car? Who is going to be? You personally? Good luck. My idea, it was going to be a computer, by the way, because I have a statement to make. Get ready to a wonderful future in which nobody has a job. And think positively about it, okay? We don't need doctors, we don't need lawyers, we don't need pilots, we don't need car drivers, we don't need food makers. In the future, nobody will have a job. And it's great. I need you, the younger generation, to embrace that message and understand that in the future we will be dealing with significant things, not work anymore. But everybody has its point of view here. So flying cars, autonomous cars, cars that will drive themselves. In 15 years, if you want to drive a car, you'll have to wear a helmet, sign a waiver for your life insurance, and go to remote places and drive your car. Because nobody, no carbon-based unit will drive a car in 15 years. You know why? Because we are killing more than 1 million people a year while driving cars, 1.2 million people, and we shouldn't be doing that. robots will drive our cars. So the future of transportation, energy. Everything you know about energy is going to change. And the major change is the fact that we're going to use more and more renewable energies from wind and sun and other resources. But there is another revolution now going on, which is the battery revolution. We can now store energy. So the combination of new energy, new resources, and new batteries will actually enable us in a few dozens of years to live in a world with no petrol, no oil, if you ask me, which is great news for the new generation. So everything we know about energy is changing. Food. I urge you to think about food as a mind-changing device. Food is going to become an application. We're going to consume food to achieve results. So the whole food industry is changing. I don't have the time to go into that, but think, by the way, there are at least one movie here. Do you see the movie? The Conference. Who has seen the Conference? The Congress. Who has seen the Congress? Go and see the Congress. It's a great movie. Okay. Let's talk about real stuff. Computers, artificial intelligence, robots, transportation. This is, very mechanic. Let's talk about life itself. Let's talk about artificial life. We are now creating artificial life. We combine chemicals to create life, which is amazing. Look at Craig Venter's work at that area. We are building cyber tissues. We combine biological tissues with electric wires. We are building small computers, really nanocomputers that are going to be part of our body. I'll give you a spoon and you'll swallow 3 million computers that will work inside your body. We're going to connect to the internet from within. I mean, in a way to say it. So, and the last one over here, printed organs. I will leave you with the attempt to guess what organ have we printed here, but we are now printing organs to replace some other organs in human bodies. You have a guess? A vein? No. It's a human, it's a female thing. I'll stay here. We are printing things. So whatever we define as life today is changing. So again, Transcendence. Who has seen Transcendence? Almost all of you have seen Transcendence. So again, I urge you to think yourself, where are we going to? With all that technology that I showed you right now, which is available today, you can develop applications, you can do things based on all of these technologies. Where are we going to? What is your responsibility for the future? So some are saying that we are going to live forever. We are going to defeat death. That with medicine and science and technology, we're going to be able, and some are even saying, it's Ray Kurzweil, that we'll do it by the year 2045. I don't necessarily agree with this statement, but I will tell you, I think that we are going to live much longer. I think that 80 is the new 20. I think that your kids will get to live for 100, 200 years, and it will not be so strange. We have doubled our life expectancy, almost doubled our life expectancy in the last 100 years. What are we going to do in the next 100 years? So expect us to live much longer. Also expect the whole economy to change. I'm saying that abundance is the new shortage. Some of us were born in a world that was governed by shortage. Everything was governed by shortage. But if you ask me today, we are moving with technology, with computers, with whatever we are doing, we are moving to a world which is governed by abundance. A lot of things. I will answer questions a bit by the end if we have time, okay? So the economy is changing. And a hint I gave you earlier is that soon we will not have real jobs. We will have to do other things. We should change our minds to an abundance world, not necessarily a world based on shortage. But I'll do it in 1 minute. But we also have some risks that we have to address. We also have some bad points that we have to think about. The first one is inequality. I was young, I was naive, I believed that technology closes gaps. Today I believe if you are the first one to have access to technology, the gap that you're opening is unclosable. And the gaps between people today are widening and going higher and higher and higher and higher. And I would suggest that if we don't address inequality, we will fail in our quest to the future. So that's my first concern, inequality. How do we do it? How do we make sure that all of us, or most of us, reach the future? Because not all of us will reach the future. Not all of us will have the resources and the access that we need to reach the future. The second thing I'd like to warn us about is Earth itself. We are abusing Earth right now. We are not on Mars yet. It will take us some time. We are abusing Earth. We are putting our own Earth at a big risk, and I would urge us to be very careful about what we are doing over here. So tech itself can go wrong, and this is transcendence again. Okay, this is my final slide, I would say, and I prepared a plan for you. I prepared a plan for you to make sure that our future is positive and that we really make it to the future and we create the future that we want to create. And there are 5 things over here. We should continue with tech innovation. We should continue to innovate, invent new things. We cannot go back. Tech innovation is a must. But we also spend much more time on green innovation, and we should also spend much more time on social innovation. We should continue and bring the number of, what is 2.5 to 2.1? What is this number? It's not a problem here, but it's a problem worldwide sometimes. Number of kids per woman. We should continue and bring it to 2.1, and we should go and to planet Mars to start humanity over there as well. If it's too complicated for you, those 5 things, there is a short version, my last slide. Make the cake bigger. This is tech innovation. Slice the cake differently. This is social innovation. And eat less. This is the eco-innovation. If we do all the 3, most of us, hopefully, will get to the future in a good shape. I'd like to thank you for listening. And I'd like to say thank you and show you our spaceship. This is the first version of our spaceship which is going to the moon. Meanwhile, it is growing in a very significant way. It's going to be half a ton once we finish it. By the beginning of 2018, we are going to land on the moon, and it's going to be the first private, non-profit, hackers type of spaceship going to the moon. Not an empire. Until today, only empires went to the moon, but now we want the people to go to the moon. So, thank you very much.